All right, here we are with our weekly panel at the Plateau Bar at the W Hotel, joined today by Herb Zurkowsky from the Montreal Gazette and Sean Gordon from the Globe and Mail. Thanks for doing this, guys.
Happy to be here.
Thank you.
Today we're talking the Montreal Alouettes. They got a new guy at the helm. They got a new coach, Dan Hawkins. He's got a ton of experience, but when it comes to the CFL, it's a big goose egg. What do you think about this?
Well, the Alouettes are trying to catch lightning in a bottle again, much like they did 5 years ago with Mark Trestman, a guy that had no CFL experience. It worked with Trestman. I'm not sure yet whether it's going to work with Hawkins. The thing that concerns me, not only does he not have CFL experience, he has no pro coaching experience. He hasn't been in the game as a coach since 2010. He's got big shoes to fill. The bar has been set high. It's going to be much like the guy who's going to have to replace Anthony Calvillo at quarterback, and the poor kid who's going to have to one day replace me at the Gazette. Good luck, kid, if you're watching this.
That's me.
We are in the presence of greatness, right?
I've heard.
This is the 2012 Football Reporters of Canada.
I should write this down.
Reporter of the Year.
Do I have to sit in between you two? It's going to be a long panel
I think
today.
You know what? We've known each other for a long time. The dislike, I think, is genuine.
It's great to have you two on the panel today. But no blows today. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Going back
to Dan Hawkins. So yeah, but you've been at training camp. You've been watching the team. What's the feeling like surrounding this guy?
Well, I mean, he's an enthusiasm merchant, right? I mean, he's got a bit of the car salesman, real estate guy, kind of pleasant huckster thing going on. And you know what? I think that's actually calculated. I think that the management of the team, I think Jim Popp, the general manager, decided that, you know what, this is a team that needs, if Mark Trestman's going to go, we're not going to replace him with another Mark Trestman. We're going to replace him with a guy who's more loquacious. Trestman was sort of legendary for not really saying anything and for having this very secretive, inward-looking kind of mentality. I think Hawkins is a completely different guy. And I think that part of that is meant to instill a new message and a new messenger. And it'll be interesting to see how it works. I mean, Herb's absolutely right. He doesn't have, experience with pro players, which I think is probably more important than actual CFL experience. And you know what? It's the winds of change are blowing, but I mean, when winds blow, things get moved around, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You know what? And having said that, he's just an overseer, much like Don Matthews was. He's not going to actually coach any position.
True.
He's got 38 assistants to do that.
This is true, including several who I think have already decided that they would look really good with the coach's whistle around their neck, eh?
Well, Hawkins has the whistle.
Well, for now, but it's one of those things where...
Mark Trestman never had a whistle. He just used his fingers and blew.
Exactly.
Okay, let's move away from the coach for a bit and talk about the players. Who do you think was the biggest off-season acquisition?
I don't know. I mean, probably on the defensive side, I'm guessing, right? I mean, there's any number of them, but I'll defer
in terms of making a splash, headlines, the biggest acquisition was Dominic Rhodes, just because of the name factor. A big NFL star, a guy who played in Indianapolis, won a Super Bowl, and Pop's renowned for doing this. A lot of these guys never stick with the team, but everybody goes, ooh and ah, look at that Dominic Rhodes.
He's a showman.
NFL guy. Exactly.
Jerry Porter 2 years ago, right? They bring these guys.
Jerry Porter, Amon Green, Lawrence Phillips, Quincy Carter, on and on. Every year there's a guy.
And we eat it up. We love it, right?
Some of you eat it up.
I can't. I'm trying to crack him. Still trying to crack him. All right, so let's talk about the players a little bit more. Who's carrying the ball this year for the Owls?
Brandon Whitaker. I mean, it's going to take him a while to get up to speed. He blew out his knee last year. Typically, it takes more or less 12 months for pro athletes to come back. There are football players, who can do it sooner. Adrian Peterson did it in the National Football League last year. But he's only 8 months out, and it's going to take a little while, I think, for him to be the player that he was, which was probably the most underestimated running back in the Canadian Football League. A dominant player dressed as a guy who isn't, who's just a really nice guy and doesn't really look for the spotlight. So.
All right, guys, I hate to cut this off this short. It's a really interesting conversation. I want to discuss Anthony Calvillo a little bit, but maybe that'll be next time. Thanks for doing this. Herb, Sean, see you next time.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you.